All right, welcome back. New game, new rules. Mic check. One, two, three. Third eye. Okay, let's talk about oral technology. AUREL, not the ORAL. My buddy said stop getting snow cone on the brain, so here we go. Sorry, I got to keep my heart rate up because I have what's referred to as chronic fatigue syndrome. So that's what makes me think straight. Coffee's a no-no with shattered teeth. Increases the sensitivity of the nerves. Hey, look, kitty. Giving the Cheetos shot. Okay, here we go. Try it a couple different ways. Oral technology as hacked by the local country people. Credit? Pretty much my neighborhood. They taught me. Straight up hackers, I'm telling you. With oral technology. Like Elon Musk is trying to back engineer and control human beings through. Watch. This is called hand and smoke signals, folks. Same difference. You ready? When I moved here and I drove down the street, they definitely peeped on my car because they're all driving trucks. And they know all the major brands, where the stickers are on. And I guarantee you, probably 3 miles up the road, they can say, hey, that's Peggy Sue or Bobby or Fred because of the roll cage on the back, or it's got the stopper for the hay, the bumper, the tow hitch, or it's missing. They got in a wreck, the front push bar, the stock grill, the custom, etc., etc. Windows tint and stickers are highly predominant, Dr. Seuss style. They're great. So, what's that called? Penetration test, so that they wave and say hi. Family, yo, hey, what's up? But what's left behind? All the invaders, strangers, someone they don't know yet. Like me driving by waving, hey, what's up, dude? It's not how they approach me. I did it wrong. Here's the trick. They nod their heads, means they've seen me around and I ain't giving them no problems. Go on by, you're friendly, but not a local. Definitely not a country person. Look, I don't even want to scoop cat poop, and you see them behind me, so you're better than me, you earned your buckle. Watch. Not only are they nodding their head, they're looking at what kind of mood I'm in. Like if I'm flaring my hands around and throwing a beer bottle or acting crazy, they're going to stop and turn around. They don't mess around. Okay? What's that called? Security. And then what did they do when I didn't nod? I nodded my head back and I cheated? Penetration test. He ain't right. Let's whip it around and see what's up. And you think I'm kidding? They're straight up dynamite. I'm tell you what. You do not mess around with these country folks. Look, I messed around in a laboratory setting. Laboratory, like we got fire extinguishers for the different types of fires. There's more than one fire extinguisher, silly. And my favorite one is the chemical one, but this one was for the alcohol burner that I bought and replaced because I cracked it. And it was made in Asia, where they tell me my TV works properly, and I tell them it's the twilight zone of instructions. Two speakers on the back of the TV should be to surround. They owe me three speakers, the one in the center and the two to go facing me, the three front ones. So watch. While they're nodding their heads at each other, it's a check. Hey, is my brother, my neighbor? They consider each other family. A-okay? Are they all right? They're looking for the mood. Happy, sad, or in the middle. You're in the middle. Go on by. Everything's cool. It's all right. High, low, middle. Elon Musk said stay in the middle. Looks like country people are listening. Look, I blew up a little Bunsen burner, and I'm telling you, it was milliliters of alcohol in it, and it's not as strong as moonshine, folks. Not even close. I think that their stuff is higher proof. You're going to have to ask them. I don't know if they exist or not. They're a myth to me. We call them Casper the Ghost. Woo! There they go. Never on fire. Watch. If they're making moonshine and I blew up a lab, and luckily for me, I had a face shield on. I even had I had a hat on with one of those propellers. Man, it smoked that propeller. No BS. Anywho, It's now propellerless, but I still got the hat. Anywho, that's dangerous. I also had the full blown jacket on that's fireproof, and it still really rocked my world. If they're doing gallons, let alone 50, 100, or 200, or 300, holy Toledo. Look, swipe right, but stay out of my laboratory. That's crazy. I mean, that's an explosion, and they catch on fire. That's the enchiladas burnt hack. Ouch, my gooch is on fire, but that's also cool if they're pulling it off. Somebody's got some finesse and talent, no less. So watch. They're penetrating, testing each other, driving around. How did they pick me out? I'm in a car, durr. But they got everybody memorized. It's local. That gave it away. Of course, my hacker mask sticker on the back of my kitty cat's probably kind of confusing, but I don't give them no problems, so they let me pass. Don't speed too much. Don't ride nobody's butt. Just kick back. It took a while, by the way. Moved from the city, and they just kept saying, you need to relax. That's what I do. In the city, you're like rush, rush, rush in the grocery store. It's pretty lax here. Very nice. Country people got it good. And by the way, they taught me, you can hear a cricket fart at night, and they ain't kidding. I blame it on the cat if it's a guest, but it is out of sight quiet at night. You can hear a cricket fart. They got the secret. How do you hit your meditation chi if you're in the city and get any peace? So they know peace and quiet. And then when somebody like me drives by, they pick me out. So that's sight, sound, hearing, everything. But I didn't say a word to them. Just them noticing me. And if I start speeding or acting crazy, they come out and what's up? Why are you acting like a goofball, silly turkey? You need to get corralled? Very wise technology. Corral a virus, get it? Anywho, it's all the same thing as hacking, but different. Well, they're on a higher level with the alcohol. I keep going to the local store. I know I keep forgetting to get some legally at the store. Anywho, I'm going to try a sip. I don't know why. Just for the heck of it to see how it is. All right. So while they're driving by, nodding, they're looking at my speed. They're looking if I'm blowing tail smoke, making sure that I'm an A-OK mechanic on my own. A few of them did the old good old boy dealy. By the way, I needed to get a ride from emergency and forgot my vehicle. The ambulance told me to leave it behind. There was no room. It was a good old boy that didn't want my money. His truck engine blew up, and he picked me up with his aunt's car, I think. Gave me a ride home and was more concerned about me than the money. If that's what a good old boy is, high five. Real story. Real dude. Hope he's doing good. I think he'll make it. So I don't know the difference between a redneck, a country boy, or forgot the third one. I said it a little earlier. But anywho, country people has that. I'll keep it clean. They're doing stuff that's amazing. That's like city hacking or country hacking, neighborhood watch. And they do it at nighttime too, but it's usually bad guys out and they go to sleep. They get up at the crack of dawn. So they're corralling the herd correctly by going through town without even windows rolled up when it's hot sometimes. Some of them got air conditioning. Some of them love Mother Nature. Either way, my windows are usually up with the AC going or the heater. So they can't hear me, but they can see what I'm doing. Oral technology. So watch this. Blueprint done by natives that are coming from South America on up into the United States to better their lives. Watch this. Oral technology, and don't forget there's Portuguese, Spanish, Spanish from Mexico, Spanish from Spain, and then there's a couple derivatives, and I can prove it because the Wahican peoples, who are generally shorter, speak dialect. Ain't no one in the United States and very few Latin Americans, let alone natives, speak dialect. And I don't either, just so you know. I left that one alone. That's too sacred. I have some ideas, but I'm going to leave that alone. Um, so let's say Wahikans come over, for example, and they speak dialect. This way I don't pick on any languages. And dialect sounds like a clicking noise from your mouth. And the first time I heard it, I was blown away. And by the way, I called a dispatcher and I said, she's punking me. I know she speaks Spanish. I said, what's she doing? And she said, it's dialect, and introduced me to a beautiful Wahican family. Very traditional, except the kids were there and they spoke Spanish, and one of them made a bet that the güero hablo inglés. And after I told them, I don't les mi pantalenos, they said, you got us. Friendly people, very nice. They come over, let's say they want to get a job, and they go to a construction site, okay? Just a hypothetical. They don't need to speak English because they know the definition of a blueprint. You need parts, the concept to put it together, and the finished product. You take them to a construction site that's in any stage of the progress, they'll emulate and duplicate. Monkey see, monkey do, copycat. Very simple. But here's the crazy thing, and this is props to the fine Latin Americans that I used to hire, dedicated to Arturo, who taught me this. He gets the credit. He said, when you get a group of them together, we don't really need to talk to each other. We show each other out in the field as we're going if we have a better idea. Time saver, compressed data, that's badass. In other words, get out there and learn it while you're doing it, or become better at what you're doing, or if you're a master at your craft, still take a tip and never close your mind. Credit Arturo. And here's the funny thing. There's two words they always say that they know in English, and I never realized it until my buddy pointed it out. They say, let's go. In other words, they don't say like the labor-ready people, do I get a 20-minute break? When's lunch? Are you going to feed me? Are you going to give me extra money at the end of the day? They say, first we got to do something. Then it's a contract. So they say, let's go. Meaning they know what the blueprint is. In other words, the blueprint I haven't revealed. I'm showing them like where the vehicle is and the parts are, and I'm showing them this plugs into this, or it's like a Lego. Come on, kids can put together plumbing if I bought the right parts, and they're all there. They just have to assemble them. But I always have Arturo. That dude shows them and connects it all and then takes it apart anyway just to make sure it fits. For some reason, they all group around him. I don't know what they're up to. But he's the one who gets credit, not me. I just watched him. Beautiful, by the way. He put together a mechanical plumbing deal that even I hadn't seen yet. So I was behind them all looking. Look, it's a no bosses meeting. That's cool. I'll go over to the truck and start cleaning. How's them apples? Arturo was the boss. He'd put it together, take it apart, and even he didn't speak dialect silly, but he looks at them, and when they smile and nod their head, next move. And when they looked at him and shrugged their shoulder or shook their head no, he said, uh-oh, let's repeat it, but I'll try it differently and see if it works this time. But usually when he takes it apart, they go, oh. And then they point to the glue, and he goes, I'm showing you the blueprint, silly. And then they go, gotcha. Then they point to the finished product, meaning the construction, whether it's a residential, commercial building, and there's parts already in there, where to connect it, where to put it. You don't think people realize the plumbing goes in the ground from anywhere on the planet? Okay, there's holes dug. That's probably where it goes. Wow, oral technology. Or they followed the leader, which was Arturo, not me, and he pointed to it. He usually jumped in it, and everyone else did too, and sat around, and he said, this is where it goes. They now know the hypothesis to make it work. Water flows downhill. All the parts were assembled, taken apart, then glued, then put in, and all the people were trained to move on to the next step. Just pass forward like a wave. He would scoop 8 people at once, by the way, easily. Yeah, it didn't matter how many people were there. That concept is a winner. And I can prove to you that some of the people were Wahican or spoke a different language that he even didn't understand. Well, he spoke Spanish, so you know, and he spoke English, but they spoke something else. I'm guessing Portuguese, because I know Portuguese comes from South America. It's a tough language, yo. So, let's see. Law enforcement, very easy. This signal is the signal you don't want to see. That's take them out, cheetah. They tell the sniper that, but they don't say a word. What's that called? Oral technology. When you say I 10-8'd my call, that's compressed data. For us, that means the call was done. We hacked it. I think we had 10-300 was I'm dropping the children off in the pool. So you pick your code, but that's a code where we changed wording to numeric data and it can be transferred back. It's not oral technology, but it's a secret to find out what's within. So watch. When they go break in a house, they go silent mode and they do communicate on walkie-talkies. And I think that what they're usually doing is somebody in command or somebody that has something important to say, like look out, is probably taking the channel over, and in between they're communicating with each other at the same time, making decisions that could save their life or not save their life, while they're thinking about everyone as a unit. Multiple complex thought processes and very short amount of heart rates. Heart rates count here, folks. But using stop, go, look, I don't know your military signals, I'm not that detailed, and nods of your head and left and right, you're utilizing oral technology to its maximum potential. And God forbid one of you gets shot, and you keep your mouth shut so you don't have the location, you can look at the guy and look down, and he sees there's a hole in you, unfortunately, which I'm not promoting this. Oral technology, because you kept silent. So do monks really not talk? I'm telling you, I think they party. I'm not going to tell you. I think they actually love perfecting every single chess move, checker move, and Rubik's Cube move, like I'm doing right now. That's the beginning of oral technology. That's not talking about mind-to-mind talking. That's hand signals, motions, gestures, facial movements. And if you imagine playing poker with your buddies and you're competitive like me, you're looking for those moves that they give away when they get, what, a full house? By the way, checkmate, crown me. What do I do with this solid-colored Rubik's Cube? Anywho, that's a preview of oral technology, and then we're going to get more in depth where we talk about mind-to-mind transfer of data, what's capable of it, which nobody's been discussing, and then how to hack it, and how it works, and how to do a biohack to accomplish it, and then mentally, consciously, subconsciously, and then what you speak and write, how to label that into 4 channels and utilize them at all times. Just like I utilized in that last example. I don't know if SWAT teams are utilizing that, but if they are, kudos. A little bit of theism there. A little bit of third eye technology. Wonder if it got ganked. Anywho, that's a preview of what's coming up. Hopefully, I just noticed my cat was taking a bath. Hope you enjoyed that pooter shot. Hi, Cheetos. His eyes. Good timing. Anywho, coming up next, Lord knows what, but I want to start out a disclosure my way, where you start waking up slowly and understanding concepts better than anyone else. Why? If you don't see the beauty, how can you see the science? It's dedicated to the natives. They taught me that. See you next time, folks. Me and Tigger the kitty saying ouch, my gooch. New game, new rules. Out.